As imposing as it may be, even the tallest residential skyscraper in the world has its days numbered as king. Central Park Tower, a New York icon standing 472 meters tall, is about to lose its title to a rising power. And no, we're not talking about Dubai or Shanghai. The fall of a giant marks the beginning of a new era in global architecture. To the south of the American continent, a surprising country is preparing to make its mark in the sky. Brazil, known for its natural beauty and passion for football, is now venturing into an unexpected realm. Skyscraper engineering. The new challenger Sena Tower is not just taller, it's a symbol of ambition, legacy, and unprecedented innovation. While the American Tower held its supremacy based on tradition and economic power, Sena Tower arrives with an emotional, cultural, and technological proposition. The world is about to witness not just a shift at the top of the height rankings, but a new paradigm of what it means to build for the future. Nearly 5,000 miles from Manhattan, a small Brazilian coastal city is getting ready to write its name in the history of global engineering. Balneário Camboriú, once known for its beaches and luxury tourism, is about to become home to the tallest residential structure on the planet. Sena Tower, reaching an impressive 550 meters in height. But this tower doesn't emerge merely as a monumental structure. It carries a profound purpose, inspired by the motorsport legend Ayrton Senna. Its name evokes emotion, memories, and a sense of national pride that transcends generations. It's not just about concrete and steel, but a vertical tribute to courage and brilliance. With cutting-edge technology, daring engineering, and an unlikely location, Sena Tower is ready to defy logic and captivate the world. A legend not born from racing, but from the skies, rising as a new symbol of Brazilian boldness. Ayrton Senna wasn't just a race car driver, he was a national hero. And now, 31 years after his tragic death, Brazil has found a new way to immortalize his legacy, lifting it to the skies. Sena Tower will be more than just a building. It will be a vertical monument to the bravery, speed, and passion that defined the icon's journey. Every detail of the tower was designed to reflect Senna's essence, from the facade with racetrack-inspired elements to the upper floors simulating a hero's ascent to the heavens. Everything pays homage to the legendary figure. Reaching the top will feel like victory, as if crossing an imaginary finish line in midair. This emotional connection is what makes Sena Tower unique. More than rivaling the world's tallest buildings, it aims to touch hearts, inspire future engineers, and above all, keep alive the flame of a Brazilian who refused to accept limits. Few names evoke as much respect and emotion in Brazil as Ayrton Senna's. A three-time Formula One world champion, Senna was synonymous with refined technique, competitive spirit, and unwavering generosity. His death in 1994 moved the world and left a deep wound in millions of Brazilians. Even after 3 decades, his presence remains alive. In schools, streets, institutes, and now in a skyscraper, Senna is remembered not only for his achievements on the track, but for how he represented the Brazilian people. As a fighter, resilient, and full of faith, the tower bearing his name will be the new beacon of that legacy. Now immortalized in the skies, Senna reaches a new dimension. The tower not only elevates his name literally to the heavens, but also reinforces how his example continues to inspire a nation, and now inspires the world to see Brazil from a new perspective. Imagine a small city with fewer than 150,000 inhabitants, surpassing global metropolises like New York and Dubai in the race for towering buildings. Balneário Camboriú, once a quiet fishing village on the coast of Santa Catarina, did just that and no one saw it coming. With paradisiacal beaches, seaside luxury, and an economy focused on tourism and high-end real estate, the city reinvented itself. Today, it hosts 4 of the 5 tallest buildings in South America, and soon it will be home to the tallest residential tower on the planet. This meteoric transformation wasn't by chance. It resulted from bold urban policies, billion-dollar investments, and a forward-thinking vision that few believed possible on Brazilian soil. Balneário Camboriú is no longer just a beach town. It's the new mecca of vertical architecture in Latin America. Brazil was never known for its skyscrapers. For decades, urban growth followed horizontal patterns, with low-rise buildings and height restrictions. But something changed. A silent architectural and cultural revolution began transforming city landscapes, and Balneario Camboriú is at the epicenter of this shift. This revolution didn't happen by chance. It was the result of political, economic, and urban planning decisions made after the end of the military dictatorship in the 1980s. By decentralizing urban zoning laws, the federal government gave municipalities the autonomy to think big literally. This paved the way for a new generation of bold projects. Now, as the world looks up to cities like New York, Shanghai, and Dubai, Brazil joins the game. And not just as a spectator, but as a main player. Sena Tower isn't an isolated case. It's the symbol of an era where height becomes an expression of national identity. A question many experts ask is simple. Why Balneario Camboriú? How did such a small city, comparable in size to a single American airport, become the new epicenter of vertical construction in South America? The answer lies in a combination of strategic location, breathtaking scenery, and unprecedented urban freedom. With its narrow coastal strip and growing demand for luxury real estate, the city saw the sky as the only direction left to grow. And it seized that opportunity with full force. The cherry on top is the image the city has built. A paradise for billionaires where luxury meets the skyline. Now, with the whole world watching, Balneario Camboriú is becoming a case study on how bold urban planning can transform not only a city, but the global perception of a country. Amid the end of Brazil's military regime and the return to democracy, one detail went unnoticed by many: the new legislative freedom granted to cities. The 1988 Constitution allowed municipalities to set their own land use rules, and that's when the seed of verticalization was planted. Balneario Camboriú was among the first cities to grasp the power of this autonomy. By creating urban laws that favored vertical construction and removing many height restrictions, it attracted investors from across the country. This enabled projects to grow taller, more luxurious, and above all, more visible. 3 decades later, we see the impact of those changes. The city has not only thrived, but has begun exporting a bold urban growth model. And with the construction of Sena Tower, this story reaches its peak. A direct reflection of political decisions made in a past that now shapes the future. Balneario Camboriú's rise isn't just about engineering, it's also driven by a booming real estate market. With prices surpassing 13,000 reais per square meter, the city holds some of the most valuable land in South America. And where there's money, there's ambition. Luxury developments have taken over the coast. Buildings are no longer just homes, they're experiences. Sky-high spas, helipads, infinity pools, and now a tower with a Formula One-inspired structure. Sena Tower represents the pinnacle of this transformation. In this context, luxury means more than comfort. It's status, exclusivity, and power. Buying an apartment here isn't just purchasing property, it's buying into a vision, a narrative, and a piece of Brazilian sky. It's the kind of investment that redefines what it means to live well. In Balneario Camboriú, air has become gold literally. The city not only increased the value of its physical space, but began monetizing its sky rights. The concept is simple. Anyone wanting to build higher must buy this right from the municipality. And this model has generated millions for the city. This system, known as the sale of building rights, allows structures to exceed standard height limits in exchange for financial compensation. It was this very model that made projects like Sena Tower possible. It's an ingenious strategy. Developers profit by building more units and selling at sky-high prices, while the city collects funds to invest in infrastructure, tourism, and urban mobility. A rare symbiosis where vertical growth fuels horizontal progress. It's almost an architectural paradox, building the world's tallest residential tower on one of the smallest available plots in the city. The challenge sounds insane, but that's exactly what makes Sena Tower a masterpiece of modern engineering. The limited space forces engineers to think outside the box, and that's what they did. The structure will rise on a narrow lot squeezed between other buildings, demanding millimetric precision and innovative solutions to accommodate its 550-meter height. Here, every centimeter counts. Land use is pushed to the limit, while the building's base integrates design and efficiency at unprecedented levels in Brazil. This contrast between lot size and tower grandeur highlights the project's extraordinary nature. Brazil isn't just building tall, it's building tall with boldness. overcoming physical limits with creativity and cutting-edge technology. When a destination is dubbed the new Brazilian Dubai, there's an implicit expectation: extreme luxury, daring architecture, and boundless ambition. Balneario Camboriú is embracing that title and may even be surpassing its inspiration. The comparison goes beyond looks. Like Dubai, the city is becoming a symbol of rapid transformation. In just a few decades, it leapt from a coastal village to a hub of billion-dollar investments, attracting wealthy entrepreneurs, celebrities, and global investors. Projects like Sena Tower are solidifying this identity. But here's the twist. While Dubai builds as a billionaire nation-state, Balneario Camboriú is doing it with private funding and flexible urban policies. It's an even more impressive feat and proof that Brazil can indeed compete in the global luxury construction arena. Imagine living 500 meters above the ground with an Atlantic Ocean view in an apartment worth over $50 million. This will be the privilege of a few, the future residents of Sena Tower. These penthouses are vertical palaces, designed for those who accept nothing less than the extraordinary. Each penthouse will feature exclusive amenities: private elevators, indoor leisure areas, suspended pools, full automation systems, and aircraft-grade soundproofing. It's not just a home, it's a status symbol, an experience, and a habitable work of art. This new reality reflects the quiet rise of an ultra-luxury market in Brazil, a country where, despite social inequalities, an increasingly powerful elite is shaping new frontiers of sophistication and redefining what living well means in the skies. Brazil's skyline will never be the same. The arrival of Sena Tower isn't just about a new height record. It changes how Brazil is seen, both internally and globally. Once known for its beaches, forests, and football, it will now also be remembered for vertical engineering. Surpassing the 500-meter mark, Sena Tower leaves all other Latin American buildings behind, cementing a new era in the region's architecture. It's more than a tower, it's a landmark, a turning point, a declaration that the country can also dream big literally. This new horizon isn't just physical, it's symbolic. It signals a Brazil that dares to compete with giants, no longer merely importing trends but exporting architectural innovation. A country that at last begins to touch the sky with its own hands. Behind its dazzling facade, Sena Tower houses some of the most sophisticated engineering on the planet. From its foundations to the top, where giant dampers will be installed, everything is designed to withstand the extreme forces of nature and time. The tower will be built entirely in reinforced concrete, with a strong central core and strategically placed peripheral columns. This setup ensures not only stability but also flexibility to handle the strong winds and thermal variations typical of high altitudes. This technological heart is what allows the tower to rise confidently in such a limited space. And more than just standing tall, it's built to last. A symbol of modern engineering that, like Ayrton Senna, was born to break limits and leave a mark forever. When it comes to building a 550-meter tower, the challenge starts beneath your feet. In the case of the Sena Tower, the foundation is a spectacle in itself. There are 700 cast-in-place piles over 40 meters deep, drilling through each layer of soil until reaching the bedrock. An achievement never before accomplished for a structure of this scale in Latin America. But the standout feature lies in how these piles were built. Instead of partial reinforcement, as is common, each was fully encased in steel from top to bottom. This ensures monumental and unprecedented strength, capable of supporting the tower's weight even under the worst climatic and seismic scenarios. This bold approach to the foundation is the first step toward realizing the tower's full magnitude. It's like planting the roots of a tree destined to touch the sky, and it all begins with the confidence that the ground can bear the dream. Skyscrapers of this size face more than just height challenges. They must deal with wind and the movement it causes. Sena Tower was designed to sway, yes, but in a controlled way, almost like a calculated dance with nature. Wind tunnel tests revealed something surprising. The tower not only withstands winds but also redirects them efficiently, minimizing impact on surrounding buildings and at street level. The structure allows for slight oscillations, imperceptible to residents but essential for overall stability. This flexibility is what keeps the giant of concrete and glass steady. Instead of resisting with rigidity, it adapts. A philosophy that echoes Brazilian nature itself: resilience, intelligence, and grace in the face of challenges. At the top of Senate Tower, something invisible to the eye will ensure peace for those living there. Two massive dampers, each weighing 1,000 tons, functioning as dynamic counterweights against the building's sway. These tuned mass dampers are the largest ever designed for a residential tower in the world. These mechanical systems detect tower movement caused by wind and automatically adjust to neutralize it. It's a technology that turns the tower into a living entity, capable of responding in real time to the forces of nature. To put this into perspective, the largest previous system of this kind was in Taipei 101, weighing 660 tons. Senate Tower nearly triples that, its engineering saying, "We can go higher as long as we know how to dance with the sky." The construction of Senate Tower isn't an isolated event. It's the spark of a new era for all of Latin America. Countries like Mexico, Chile, Argentina, and Colombia are loosening their urban laws and starting to invest in more ambitious constructions, inspired by the Brazilian phenomenon. This movement represents more than new buildings. It symbolizes the awakening of a continent to architectural leadership. For decades, Latin America was seen as a bystander in this field. Now it's beginning to write its own chapter of boldness and innovation. And who's leading this revolution? Brazil. Senate Tower is the beacon lighting the way, a monument declaring to the world, we're ready. Not just to compete in height, but to tell vertical stories that inspire, move, and challenge limits. In the end, Senate Tower is more than concrete, steel, and glass. It's a grand metaphor for modern Brazil, a country that no longer fears dreaming big. Embedded in every centimeter of this tower is the message that we are capable, creative, and resilient. It reflects a nation that wants to be known not only for its natural beauty or celebrations, but for its capacity to innovate and lead. Senate Tower won't just be a postcard, it will be a historic landmark, a symbol of ambition and identity. When finished, this tower will shout to the world what many Brazilians already feel in silence. The future has arrived, and it's vertical, bold, and green and yellow. And now, facing this monumental tower that bears the name of a national hero, the question remains, is Brazil about to truly conquer the skies? Or is this just the beginning of something even greater? If this video surprised you, hit the like button right now. It tells YouTube this story is worth spreading. Drop a comment below. Would you live in Senate Tower? Or do you think this is all a bit too much? I want to hear your thoughts. And hey, if you enjoy impactful stories like this, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. There's a lot more coming. Extreme engineering, hidden curiosities, and the world's biggest constructions. The next video might be even crazier and you won't want to miss it. See you there.